Hey, this is Jerry Murphy. Welcome to today's episode of FinServ Tech Oracles. This is Jerry Murphy, Senior Vice President of Research and Consulting at Nemertes. I'm here with Mark Imhoff. Mark has had uh, decades of experience in security, most recently being the head of security practice at SystemSoft Technologies. Before that, he's worked at the Bureau Chief of Enterprise Architecture at the Iowa Department of Human Services. He's also been at several large consulting companies such as ACL, Hitachi Data Systems, and Cognizant, where we worked together building large-scale global data centers for all kinds of companies. So as you can see, Mark, we weren't able to get his camera to work, but I want to welcome you here. So thanks a lot for taking the time to come on, Mark.
I appreciate it, Jerry. I look forward to our conversation today.
Yeah. So as we talked a little bit before this started, one of the debates some people are having now, clearly security is a huge issue. You've done decades of work building security infrastructure for clients. One of the debates we've seen, certainly with financial services as well, is whether or not you should integrate networking and security operations, whether or not for your security operations, should you really build your own security operations center, or is it really better left outsourcing that to somebody else? And I'm just wondering, based on your experiences, Mark, what do you think about that?
Thanks, Jerry. When you talk about SOC and building your own or outsourcing the SOC, to me, it really depends on you as an organization and your capabilities you have today. And what I mean by that is, I've worked in both very large environments as well as very small environments. And when it comes down to it, when you want to decide building your own SOC, one of the big things I look at is, what are your current capabilities within your organization? Is this something that you can build up, or you already have certain components of a SOC for today? And what type of tools you're going to use for your SOC? There are many different tools out there. Do you have those capabilities? If not, it's a very expensive endeavor to bring into start your own kind of SOC environment. You have incident threat management. You have a lot of different things you have to be concerned with. So to me, that's one of the major issues. Now, what I've seen in the recent time, as people move more toward the cloud and using, say, like Microsoft Defender and other products like that, I have seen where you go to, from a financial situation, where organizations from very large to very small, I see it really more in the smaller organizations, but outsourcing those type of capabilities, because they have companies that have, that's their niche. That's what they do every day. They have that capability of understanding what's going on and keeping up to date on the threats and the things that are out there for organizations.
Right. And it seems like almost everybody would probably agree, if you get to the smaller size companies, you almost don't have a chance, because you just don't have the resources, either financially or personnel wise, that you can even stand up SOC. However, as you get bigger, right, larger companies certainly do have the size and resources, and one could argue, you could purpose build an operator that's for your specific requirements, which would tend to say larger companies probably should build one. But when you mentioned the whole thing about skills and tools, just because you're big, it doesn't necessarily mean A, you have the tools, or B, even if you have the money and resources, that you can find the people with the right skills.
That's absolutely true. And that's why a lot of, to me, you have to do a self-reflection of what your core business value is. Are you trying to focus on doing your business, or are you trying to focus on protecting your business? And both are equally important, but where do you want to focus most your time, effort, and capabilities? I do see bigger organizations outsourcing it as well, just because they want to focus on, say, in the financial industry, they're going to worry about data, understanding about cross-sell, understanding about how to enhance their capabilities to their end customer. And protection is always a big part of that. But, they want to focus more on loans or credit cards or things like that.
Right.
And they don't want to worry about the IT portion of the business. And I've seen more and more, even larger companies deciding to outsource a lot of different components of IT in a lot of sense, where they can focus on their core business and not IT.
Yeah. Now, the last question I have is I've seen a lot of vendors, right? I mean, when you look at where I'm going to get information from for security, it makes sense to like tail log files. And it used to be, I'd tail the log files of my firewalls, and then you could do it on your servers, and you could do another instance. Splunk is one of these companies recently on the hook to being bought by Cisco, I think, but they've really made a living off of tailing log files out everything and integrating those things. What's your thought on integrating, like, say, and somebody like Splunk would say, oh, we can integrate your network information, your security. And part of me says it kind of makes sense to do integration because your security and networking, where they used to be separate, you really need information from all domains, from your networks, from your servers, from your storage, to really make the most sense of security environments. And I hear vendors like Splunk touting the ability to do that, but are you actually seeing with any of your clients that people in practice are actually doing that kind of integration?
Absolutely. I mean, if you want to build a really solidified kind of to identify like false positives or things like that, you have to have a holistic view of your environment, from logs, from other means of compliance data. You bring in third-party threat information, so you understand the type of threats out there. You correlate that data. What I'm really seeing now is Splunk was, I kind of think, one of the first ones to bring it in. I don't want to talk about products, but the implementation of Splunk has always been a challenge. There has been a move to other products to use AI and ML into that, what they call AI ops, in a situation where they're trying to help facilitate, one, reducing the amount of people you do, but two, bringing in data from all different places, like, say, VMware information,
right,
your physical server, cloud information, from server, storage, network, you name it, microsegmentation and access control, everything to analyze that, to understand where your weaknesses are. I mean, one thing I would always say is all these things are great information and tools to help yourself and your organization. The number one thing I always say, though, to everybody about security, your weakest link in your chain is always going to be your people, and like middle-of-the-man phishing, things like that, people clicking on links. That's still probably the number one cause of most cyber attacks.
Yeah, totally agree, Mark. So it's just sort of wrapping this thing up. We're talking about this, the sense of whether or not people should do SOCs. What I heard you say was basically you really need to look at your capabilities on where those are before you make that choice. Yes, smaller, probably outsourced, but bigger, it really depends. You should focus your time and effort on what makes the most sense to your business. And finally, with all the training and tools and AI that's out there, that stuff is all great. We should be looking at it. But at the end of the day, the weakest link to this day and maybe forever is going to be that human being.
Exactly. You get it right. Exactly right, dude.
All right. Hey, Mark, thanks a lot for your time. And thanks again, everybody, for attending this latest version of FinTech Oracles. And we hope to see you in the future. Thanks again. Thanks, Mark.
All right. Thanks, sir.